Hi, everybody. Welcome to the.
My thing was lagging. I didn't see it switch. Okay.
It's
Hey
all
everyone.
good. I didn't know if you
Uh
wanted me to do the intro for once, or because I'm not used to it. But like, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Nostalgia Crackdown. I'm here with my good buddy Adelia. Adelia, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing good. We got a very interesting episode coming up. I'm excited about it. Always fun to talk Schmoedown. So yeah, absolutely.
All right. Today we're talking about the 2021 rookie class. There were a lot of rookies in that rookie class. It's probably the biggest rookie class that the Schmoedown's ever had. And some of them stood out, others didn't make quite as much of an impact. But yeah, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. And just before we start, we'll quickly say we're not going to go over every single rookie from this class.
Yeah.
Be we don't have the strength or stamina to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go over some of the major ones, and this is going to be a very heavily Finstock Exchange episode because when we talk about this rookie class, it's hard to not to talk about the exchange when it comes to this class. And I think it's let's quickly go over where the exchange was going into this season, which was they just had a very disappointing season. They were the clear, overwhelming favorites with Dan Merle, John Roca, Ben Bateman, Mark Riley to win the first ever faction season, and they lost to corruption. At the end of
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular, what's called Finstock betrays and John Roca betrays Dan Merle and leads the new exchange with John Roca and the Barbarian as like the two kind of I think set in stone people to be going into next season. And
Yeah.
going into this season, we weren't sure what the exchange draft strategy was going to be, at least going into it. And I think no one could have expected this because not only were they very rookie heavy, I remember going into this draft, a lot of the rookies that they drafted, nobody knew about.
Yeah, they
Nobody
weren't the
knew.
touted rookies coming
Absolutely.
in.
No one knew who Griffin Newman was, Brother Loomis, King Khan, Rick Radis, like all these rookies. We had an idea of the rookies, and I remember a lot of the rookie names was Thomas Harper. That was a big name. Gold Leader was probably the most or the most well known within the Schmeidown community rookie they drafted. But I
Yeah.
remember Jacoby Bancroft was I apologize for the pronunciation of the name, but I know Jacoby was a huge name being floated around rookie
Yeah,
wise.
Jacoby was part of the Fan League Four, so he
Yes,
was the Fan League Four were coming in. There were a lot of names that excuse me that everybody thought were the like standout rookies, and then you got the exchange who in that draft just started drafting people, and you were like, who? At one point in time, I believe Christian said they drafted Jeffrey Kahn, and they had to double check if he was even somebody that was eligible to be drafted because Christian didn't remember his name. Um, if it wasn't Khan, it was somebody else on the exchange. I definitely remember that. But the rookies they drafted were just really good.
absolutely. And I think the interesting thing, because the Exchange had its most successful season within the faction era, where they were competing for first place at the end. And I'm not sure how much of the strategy goes into this, how much the Barbarian was thinking about this and Finstock, because also, we should note that not only was Finstock looking at these rookies, it was very publicized and mentioned that the Barbarian was leading this process. The Barbarian was
Hmm.
doing a lot of scouting. Honestly, I'd like the amount of stuff that I remember hearing in the back of my head when they were talking about their process of drafting rookies. It almost felt like we're right now in NFL draft season, and I'm an NFL draft nerd and stuff like that. It felt like an NFL team almost like going through a prospect they really like and putting him through the ringer on these interviews and stuff like that. So like they really had a very high process where they were testing the rookies that they were asking to interview. They were talking about character because as we're going to go into the exchange, almost every rookie had a very well defined character for the exchange,
Yes.
and not only a defined character fit very well into the exchange dynamic. It wasn't like they didn't work well with the overall heel slash kind of like um not nature but the over heel vibe that the exchange was going for. There was a lot of pre-draft work, you could tell, especially about the success of these rookies. But not only that, the reason why I think the exchange were so successful with these rookies is when we think about rookies, the way this Schmoedown schedule works, is they aren't they're mostly put against other rookies to start out with, unless you debut in the tournament, basically. But
Yeah.
your first path to a title as a rookie is not going to be as arduous or hard or whatever. You're not facing the top of the competition. However, the exchange kind of put Christian in the league in a weird situation where it's like you're all rookies. So all the matches you're getting are not, as early on at least, is not going to be against like, I don't want to say high level because the rookie class, as we're going to go into, is a very high level rookie class, and there's a lot of great talent in this rookie class. But you're not going against the bibs for the singles title. You're not going, you're not facing these Schmoedown veterans. You're taking a slightly easier path, and
Yeah.
by racking up that easier path, there's a lot of ways to get points for your faction team. I think
Yeah.
a specific example of this is I remember Rick Radis did not have the most arduous 3-0. I think we were talking about like one of the easiest when he was 3-0, one of the easiest 3-0 paths.
Hmm.
I'm going to quickly look it
While
up.
you do that, I'll pull up this comment from Ferris. This is they played the system. They absolutely did. They drafted rookies that would get them the points they needed to be near the top of the faction system. So, and they drafted well in all. They drafted a rookie for every division, basically,
Absolutely.
because
And
you
just
had
his
yeah,
3-0 path was Christina Velasco. He won by TKO.
yeah, Chris
Uh,
TV.
Peggy Gubbins, which is respectable because Peggy Gubbins did take down Ben Bateman, another rookie of this class, by the way.
I was Paige, I think, that
Uh,
did that, not
oh,
Peggy.
sorry, Paige, not Peggy. My apologies. And then the third one was Frankie Alvarez, who at the time they were both 2-0 rookies
Yeah,
and so on. But that was Rick Radis's 3-0 path. And it's like he mostly just faced rookies. And when the exchange
yeah,
feels like they have the best rookies and they did the most work, it was a very easy way to rack up faction points.
yeah, absolutely. Do you want to dive into some of these exchange rookies specifically,
Absolutely.
or
So to go over we have to go over Griffin Newman and King Khan first.
yeah,
I mean, out of all the rookies, these both had the both long-term impact. They teamed up for King Arthur, which was one of the scariest teams, goes on to win a championship, by the way. A both of them when they came on were incredibly accurate. I think both of their characters were very well done. Griffin, especially though, he went on a huge run in the singles tournament that year as well.
yeah,
It was an incredible run for both of them, but like these were two were by far the biggest successes of the exchange rookie system.
yeah. I will always call him Griffin Newman. I hate calling him Griffin Nooms. Like, it just was such a name that just struck me the wrong way, and I can't get over it still. But yeah, they won both the Ultimate Schmoedown tournaments. He did that year. That year, he won the singles tournament, and then and Khan won the doubles tournament. That means Griffin played double duty at Spectacular, and I was at that Spectacular, and they played a really close match to Shazam in the team's title match, and then he played a really close match to Marisol as well. And I think it was everybody sort of watched those matches and just thought, oh, it's only a matter of time before King Arthur wins the team's titles or Griffey Nooms wins the singles belt. And Griffey never got the singles belt, but they did get the team's belts there in season 9. Um, they
And
were
it
phenomenal as a
absolutely, and
team.
it definitely felt like if the Schmoedown went on for like another 5 years, they were the next generation. Basically,
Yeah,
they would be
yeah,
like the top of the class once some of the older players if they've decided to step down. If there was like a changing of the guard, this might have been the first moment with them. Like you would think if there was a new Schmoedown top elite, it would be those two, Adam Collins, Marisol McKee. Like those would be the new names that would be dominating the
yeah,
league.
yeah, absolutely. Also, they had Brother Lomas, who I remember more for creeping me out with the black and white filter over his video and reminding me way too much of Christian school than I did anything else. But he was 1-1 in singles. This is the thing about the exchange and their rookies that year is that none of them had a losing record. It's
Absolutely.
crazy.
100%. Like Lomas did not impress as much accuracy-wise. Both him and Radis, I think we can put into the same category, but
Mhm.
they both were so on point with their character work, and that's like, the exchange were so good, not only about drafting these rookies, but I think we should also give them a huge amount of credit, both Finstock, the Barbarian, John Roca, in developing them. All those
Yeah.
rookies, as they came in, not only were ready with the trivia, not only were ready with the strategy, but had a character. Brother Lomas as a character is instantly memorable, whether
Mhm.
you like it or not. It
Whether you like
instantly
it or not, yeah.
it gives you an impact. It's like the worst thing you can do as a Schmoedown character is to be like, I don't, is to feel nothing, is to be boring, is to be something like that. You want the fans to either hate you, love you, or just be interested by you. And the exchange, what you can say about them is almost every single rookie you were interested by them. And even then, they were all very well done. Just the development process, you can't say highly enough. And like, we're going to go through maybe some of the other teams, like some of the exchange members that had the least success, like Mark Haas. He would have been maybe the best rookie on like four different factions,
Absolutely.
and he was and I'm not counting Kim Taylor Foster, who does deserve a mention, who never got the
Yeah.
chance to play in a match. She
She only
appeared in
played
the
in the
free.
free for all.
Yes, she appeared in the free for all, and I think had an impressive showing in the free for all. So it was a shame that she never got a match in the end, just because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Delia, that she was overseas,
Yeah, I
so it
think she was
was,
based in London, so it was
yeah.
a little difficult for her. Um, but yeah, Moose Haas would have been one of the best IG rookies in the league. Ty Lieberman also was 2 and 2 in singles. He did really
Also,
well.
shout out to Ty Lieberman as well, because correct me if I'm wrong, he was one of the ones who came up for the idea with this podcast, and he was very active in the Schmoedown
Yeah.
scene of the podcast or whatever, in the comments and whatever, and everything like that. I think there was a Ty
Hey
Lieberman
Jay.
Hey Jay, how's it going? Like, part of the reason we started this compact, my words. Part of the reason we started this podcast was, I believe, Ty Lieberman made a comment. I was like, "Oh, I wish there was a Schmoedown retrospective podcast."
Yeah, you guys. He suggested that we kept talking about the Schmoedown, and I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. So, um, shout out to Ty Lieberman. He was great. And then of course Gold Leader. Gold Leader made the both tournament finals in Star Wars in season 8. Lost both times, but he made it to the tournament finals, and he had a winning record in Star Wars, which not a lot of Star Wars competitors have.
Absolutely, and also when it comes to Star Wars competitors who are really good, they're sometimes going into the match is like, well, yeah, but he's not going to beat this dominant person, because the people who win in Star Wars is, you have to be Thomas Harper, Andrew DeMolanta,
Alex Damon.
or Damon, really. Like, those are the
Yeah.
three that, like, once you go through these three monsters, it's like you don't think you have a chance. Gold Leader, I remember in every of those matches, like, no, I think he can go perfect, and he has
Yeah.
gone perfect. It's like he can absolutely win those matches. He was an extremely impressive rookie, and made it and I really appreciate that he made it a point to be like, no, I want to beat the Dragon Con players. I want to be the
Mhm.
Dragon Slayer, and he was really memorable. He was a great kind of person to root against, because of his cockiness, and
Yeah.
like, he brought it with the knowledge. Like, a 5-2 Star Wars record is really legit, especially because also you don't get a lot of Star Wars matches. The fact that he got 7 matches in his first year
Yeah.
is really impressive, and just shows that, like, oh, they wanted. Gold Leader really made the most of his matches, and made it both with the accuracy, but also with him as a character. He was a
Yeah.
draw. People wanted to see Gold Leader.
Yeah. Shout out to Evan. He was great. Um, there were some other really good rookies that weren't exchange rookies, though. You mentioned Thomas Harper there a minute ago. We'll get to him in a minute, but let's talk about the person who beat Gold Leader in the Ultimate Schmoedown Star Wars tournament, and that's Nikki DeMolanta, who hadn't played much in the beginning half of the season, but then came on strong in the second half of the season and ended up going 4-1, winning the tournament and facing Thomas Harper at Spectacular.
Absolutely. Like, we got two really great competitors with both Nikki Demolanta and Gold Leader when it came to Star Wars, and a new infusion into Star Wars. Again, we're going to say this a lot about this rookie class because these competitors that came onto the scene and instantly made an impact weren't given the time that most other Schmoedown competitors were. But if Nikki if the Schmoedown kept going on for 4 or 5 years, it's like we would think that probably Nikki Demolanta, Gold Leader, and Thomas Harper, assuming that they are able to play, because Thomas Harper had to step away for other reasons. But like, assuming they are able to play and get matches, they would have been the future and the draws of the Star Wars division.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I believe Nikki DeMolanta is the only woman who won a Ultimate Schmoedown tournament ever in the Schmoedown. I believe. I can't think of another woman that won a tournament.
I'm trying to think of teams. I think you might be right because singles. I don't think Clark will.
Well,
Well, did Rachel Cushing win? No, she got.
no,
Oh, she lost to Sam
she
Levine.
lost.
That's right.
Oh, Mara won the tournament. Mara won the
Mara won the
tournament.
tournament. Yes, Mara
Yeah.
won
Okay.
won the tournament.
Yeah. I had completely forgotten about that. Was a tournament that Mara showed up in for the first time.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she's the only woman to ever win a Star Wars tournament. And Nikki was great. I love Demi a lot. And she was great. She had a fantastic match with Thomas Harper at Spectacular. But she wasn't the only really good rookie on The Usual Suspects.
Yeah, the usual suspects also, when you look at rookies, they have a lot of really good rookies. Amaru Moses was an like he gets overshadowed a little because the exchange rookies were so prominent and so had such a defined character. I loved watching Amaru Moses. I think that match against Mike Kalinowski, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated title matches and one of the most
Yes.
fun title matches in IG. It's why I love the IG division. And like, out of all the rookies, if I'm being completely honest, he's the one that I'm like, I wish we got 4 more matches of him because I truly believe he would have been a champion. I
Yeah.
just like it, when I think about the Schmoedown ending, like, I think too much about like, just I wish we just got more Moses matches, honestly, because he was such a great competitor, very accurate, and like had a competitive edge in a way that he brought to his character that I think worked really well.
Yeah, I agree. Loved Amaru. He always had a good energy about him during a match. He didn't get too down on himself or anything like that. And that title match with Mike, which I believe was at the Scum and Villainy Cantina, was really, really good. I really thought there was a moment there where Amaru was going to win that match, and he ended up not winning that match. But to take Kalinowski that close is pretty impressive.
Absolutely, as a rookie as well, because you're going
Yeah.
up against the vet of vets of it'd be like Victor Wembanyama going up against LeBron in a playoff series. And yes, maybe a couple years ago back LeBron, because Kalinowski's at this point is doing much better than LeBron. LeBron's still doing solid. I'm a big LeBron fan here, but like it's the passing of the torch in a way, and it almost was a passing of the torch. But the fact that it was that
Mhm.
close, and he went toe to toe Kalinowski, and if Kalinowski loses that match, I mean, there's a chance that Corruption loses
The
the faction
faction.
war
Yeah.
to the exchange. Probably not, because Griffin Newman couldn't win one of the
The
title matches
title
against.
matches.
By the way, I
Yeah.
think both those. No, one of those title matches was against Corruption with Marisol McKee.
Yeah.
So, but then after Amaru Moses with the usual suspects, we have two celebrity contestants that I'm going to group together: Paul Walter Hauser and Doug Benson. Both pretty fun, solid, like
Paul
celebrity.
Walter Hauser is always fun. So,
Yes. Both fun competitors. I'll be honest, like, I don't love this as a Schmoedown fan, the celebrity. I understand why we have a celebrity
yeah.
and like it's not a bad, it's a good thing, and like it's nice every once in a while, but like they just don't take the game as seriously as the normal competitors, which is also why it was good they were paired up with Sam Levine, who is
Hmm.
a very on point when it comes to the Schmoedown strategy and stuff like that. But both of them solid. Like honestly, two of my favorite celebrity competitors that we've
Yeah,
had.
absolutely. And then also on the usual suspects, Paige for Betty, who had a 3-2 record, so a winning record. She also beat Ben Bateman in the tournament, which was huge for a rookie.
Absolutely.
Ferris saying, "You are anti-celebrity."
I I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being anti-celebrity. I'm like, yeah, the way my life has gone is like I think I can walk by most celebrities and be like, you know what it is, what. But like,
Yeah,
if I were to see like niche celebrities, like like walking by and seeing William Bibiani, or like walking by and see like, I mean, I'm a big Dropout fan, or walking by seeing like I don't know, Vic Michaelis or a Brendan Lee Mulligan, those would like be like, yeah. But like
yeah,
the normal celebrity, I'm okay with being a little anti-normal celebrity.
yeah. But Paige beat Bateman in the tournament, made it to the quarterfinals. Um, then Murray Wilson also had a couple of really good matches in Star Wars, but a lot of the usual suspects rookies didn't get that many matches.
Absolutely. Although, like in Star Wars, getting 2 matches is okay.
That's
Paige
true.
was able to go on a decent run by beating Bateman, and like I remember liking her character. Like I remember it's like she understood the Schmoedown and like had a character and like went in on it. And I think I remember before even getting matched up with Bateman saying she wanted Bateman in the tournament. Before
Mm-hmm.
I think before the draft
Yeah,
even being like, I just want to go in this league to beat Bateman, and she was able to
yeah.
do it. She was
And she
able to
was
back
able
it
to
up.
do it. Yeah, she said, "I'm gonna go beat Ben Bateman," and she did. So kudos to you, Paige. Boston
Absolutely.
badass.
And like I do wish that we lived in a world where Frankie Alvarez did beat Rick Radis. I was a Frankie Alvarez fan as well. Like
Yeah,
the usual suspects rookies were fun to root for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah. They were. Let's see. Who else should we talk about next? You want to talk about the Quirky Mercs?
Yeah, so the Quirky Mercs had 4 rookies. 3 of them we're not going to go too deep in because to be honest, these 3 don't have a great record. Beth May was very fun,
She was a
very fun, and
blast, and she was super sweet too.
absolutely. Like she was like one of the most fun competitors to watch. However, she
She
went
had a
0 and
lot of
2 in
energy,
singles.
but she didn't have any wins.
Yeah.
So that sucked because I did want to see more of Beth May. She used to come into training sessions with Drew when I'd be in there, and I wish that she would have been able to play more. I know she played a little in season 9, but I would have liked to have seen her play more. Um, I bought her book too, Ferris. Ferris says he bought her book.
Mm.
Beth's really good. Eric Whiteley, who is the big Blind Wave, the reaction channel on YouTube, coming into the Star Wars division, he got 3 matches and he lost all 3 of them, and they were really close from what I recall. So, shout out to him for giving it a go, but he never got another match after that. Because when you go 0-3, it doesn't matter what division you're in, but especially in Star Wars, like you're not gonna get another match.
Yeah. And then Jesse Swift won 1 and 2 in Intergate. Jesse seemed fun as well.
Yeah.
I think he was on the more competitive side because the Mercs I remember like are mostly like all fun and like the biggest faces, but they also some of them had a competitive edge to them where it's like we're having fun but we want to win. And I feel like Jesse was definitely one of the most on the sides of like, oh, I'm a fun guy, but I really want to win. And he went 1 and 2. I don't think he got a match after 2021. I could be wrong.
I think he might have gotten a match in season 9, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
the standout rookie for the Quirky Mercs in season 8 was, of course, Josh Horowitz, the journalist, longtime MTV correspondent. Now he's got the Happy Sad Confused podcast. He went 3-1 in singles, and he went 3-2 in teams with the press room with Perry Nemiroff. Hey Brandy, how you doing?
And just
Um,
quickly, we'll say he did have one more match. You were right, Adelia.
okay,
He played Brandon
good.
Hanna in the next year.
Yeah. Josh Horowitz was really good.
Yeah,
You could kind of tell that he didn't really know what he was doing at first, but then he like got into it and he I believe he was at the New York Live event. Um and faced off against Griffin Newman, I think, at the New York Live event.
yeah. Joshua Horowitz definitely was someone who had the accuracy and was like, okay, this is someone, if he plays for the next 2 or 3 years, he's always going to be around the title
Yeah.
circuit, most likely. Or at the very least, he's someone where it's like, even if he had a couple losses, if you got your match or whatever and you're a competitor and you saw Joshua Horowitz on your match card, it's like, I gotta study. All right, I gotta bring my game against him, because it's like this is someone who was really, really good and immediately was like, oh, this person's accurate and is very good at the game. Maybe not the
The
gameplay part of it.
gameplay, but
That
the
took a
the game
second.
itself, yeah. The trivia, he was
The
really good
trivia,
at.
he knew his trivia for sure.
Yeah. And he formed a really formidable team with Perry, in the press room. I really wish that team had been able to stick together in season 9. I don't think we saw either Josh or Perry in season 9, but I like the press room a lot. They made the finals of the tournament and lost to King Arthur, I believe. So yeah, I just was really happy to see like Perry have success and then her having so much fun with Josh Horowitz, who she's known for a while. I remember them saying so. Um, Plus, it was really nice to see somebody like Josh Horowitz come in and take it seriously, not just treat it like it was a joke, and actually have some success and keep showing up.
Absolutely. Like, absolutely. Like, I sometimes just go on YouTube and I get through like the shorts thing or whatever, and every once in a while see Josh Horowitz just interviewing one of the most famous people alive, and I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah, that happens to me too. Okay. The Stars had a trio of 4 rookies. Christy V, we talked about. Owen, two in singles. Um, Jacoby Bancroft. You were a particularly big fan of Jacoby
I was.
Bancroft.
I really wish we saw more of Jacoby Bancroft. I remember the one of my favorite, or the one of the things I was looking most forward to in the last season of Schmoedown was him and Riley
Him and
having the
Riley, yeah.
Miyagi and like the Karate Kid thing going, and like, but I thought he was always accurate, and he kind of got unlucky. I feel like he played a lot of high level competition, to be
He
honest,
did.
even though he was a rookie, and
Yeah.
he would be going up against other really good rookies, honestly, and like he teamed up with Janine. He also teamed up with Nick Carly. I think this is one of those ones where it's like William Bibbiani, when he first came into Schmoedown, did not win everything immediately, but you could see how
Yeah.
accurate it was, and you could see the 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 potential in a way. And I kind of saw that with Bancroft. I can't get his last name right, but
Bancroft.
Bancroft. Yeah, I feel like if Bancroft was given a couple, at least 1 or 2 more seasons, really felt like he could have at least maybe made one tournament run, I think he was someone where it's like if you ask me who of this rookie class could stick around for the next 5 seasons and be really competitive, he would be up there with the Horowitz, in my opinion, and with
Yeah.
maybe not to that degree, but like I definitely think that he would have been in the Schmoedown for a while and be a very fun part of it.
Yeah, I agree. We also had on the Stars Zach Burkett and Felix Morit. Burkett went 1-1, only played in the midseason Star Wars tournament, and then was unable to play again. And then Felix Morit, I don't even remember who he played. He played one match. Didn't win. But yeah,
Probably one of the exchange players, to be honest.
I don't remember. I feel like it was an established player. I don't remember who.
I'll check.
Okay. I'll move on to the Den. The Den had 4 rookies. Lacey Gillerin, from the Resistance broadcast podcast, was one of them. She went 0-1, and then she had to leave the Schmoedown as well because she had a baby. So congrats to Lacey on that thing from 5 years ago. Um, Jessica Schloth was one of the rookies in the Den. She went 1-2. Peggy Gubbins was also 1-2. but the standout rookie in the den was Thomas Harper. 6-0
Absolutely.
in Star Wars. I believe he's the only Star Wars competitor with an unbeaten record that's played more than once. And he won the midseason Star Wars tournament. He beat Andrew DiMolanta for the belt in September. He defended the belt against Nikki DiMolanta at Spectacular. And then he decided he wanted to spend more time with his family, so he relinquished the belt in season 9.
Absolutely. And
But
just
if
to
you're gonna come in and just have a six match run, that's the 6 match run to have.
absolutely, absolutely. Like he like Star Wars division is a bit weird. And before I go on to Star Wars, I will quickly say Felix Moret played against Jen Kemp.
Ah, see, yeah,
There we go. So, but Kemp was basically a rookie, I think, at that point because she did not have a
no,
lot of match.
Jen hadn't had a lot of matches, but she had experience and she knew the game.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure. Like I don't think she had that much matches when she played Felix.
I don't know. I'll see if I can figure that
Mm,
out.
but while Adelia's looking that up, Harper, the Star Wars division is a little weird because we have these. It's so infrequent, and we have these champions that give up the belt, like Whitwer and Harper. Harper was one of the most dominant champions we've ever seen accuracy wise.
Yes.
It was one of those ones where it's like it's a shame we never got to see where he lost the belt because I think he would have gone on an Alex Statement like run. I
Hmm.
mean, to be honest, it wouldn't be surprising if after this season going 6-0, if he didn't lose the belt and just kept it for a year or 2 years or 3 years. Honestly, if you were like doing betting or something, I think the over under would be a year and a half.
Yeah.
Would Thomas Harper lose his belt in a year and a half? And that
Yeah.
just shows how dominant and accurate and how crazy good. And Thomas Harper had so much respect for the game and wasn't like, "Oh, I know everything. I don't have to worry." Like he truly had so much respect and maybe I'm projecting a little love for the Schmoedown game and really took it seriously, took the studying seriously, learned the rules seriously. Like Whitwer is very good and like I think is a great champion, but also there was always like kind of like he didn't love the game the way some of the other Star Wars competitors did. And I think Thomas Harper truly loved the game.
Yeah. Let's see, we got Rajko. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Thanks for the nostalgia. I missed the Schmoedown, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Multiplex Entertainment Movie Melee and Brawl. Some of the Schmoedown players play in the league, including Amaru and Jacoby Bancroft. That's cool. I didn't know about that. Jen Kemp, by the way, Felix Moore, it was her second ever singles match.
Got it.
Yeah. So, Thomas Harper was generational as it is, but he could have been like you said, surpassed the Alex legend of Alex Damon if he'd been, able to stick around longer in the Schmoedown and the Schmoedown had continued.
And the
Um,
the amount of maybe like DeMolanta versus Harper matches, whether it's Nikki or Andrew,
or Andrew. Yeah, that would
would
have
have
been really
would
good.
have been really good to see.
Yeah. So yeah, Thomas Harper, obviously Star Wars Rookie of the Year. No doubt.
Yes.
Star Wars Rookie of the Year, Thomas Harper. Um, let's go on to corruption. Jacob London, really, I have to imagine was really difficult for him and Taylor Robinson to play in the Schmoedown because they were still living in Australia at the time. The time differences and figuring out how to do that probably was really difficult. He went 0-2. He was corruption's only rookie. And then Bradley Tingle, who I don't even remember, was a rookie for Swag. He played once and he lost. The
Absolutely.
dungeon had 3 rookies, the most successful of which was John Hoey, who is also part of the Resistance podcast with Lacey Gillerin. He went 1-1 in Star Wars. Chris Van Vliet and John Flickinger both lost their only matches for the dungeon, and there's not much else to say about that, really.
Yeah. There really isn't a lot to say. I mean, I think John Hoey was like a solid Star Wars, but the problem is in Star Wars is like you have to be literally to compete in
Perfect.
Star Wars, you have to be
You have
perfect.
to be
And if you're
better.
just pretty good, and John Hoey was pretty solid, but like if you're not, oh my god, is this person ever going to miss a question? You're not going to be a contender in Star Wars, which is
Yeah.
why I always have a mixed view with Star Wars as a division. Is that when we get to the point where you have to go 100% to win these matches,
Hmm.
it makes it difficult for it just makes it difficult for the middle class of that division. There's not like, and it's hard to find talent like that. It's like, oh, if you don't go 100%, you will not even like put up a fight. You have to maybe go 99% or 98%. You miss two questions, that might be a knockout. Maybe not a
Yeah.
knockout, but like you miss two
Not a
questions.
knockout, but it'd be a TKO probably in
Yeah,
Star Wars.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Depending on the questions you miss and stuff like that, especially if it's in the second round. I mean, you can't miss a second round question. You can't give your opponent an opportunity to steal.
Yeah. And then let's talk about the last two rookies we had. The FCL call ups. This is the only year we had FCL call ups because this was the only year of the first class league. Nick Harley and Ross Arsenault.
Absolutely. Nick Harley's thing to note because he was the FCL singles champion and then gave his belt somehow to Saflern in that house. If you
That still
remember.
makes me angry.
It
I'm not gonna
honestly, I
lie.
think I respect it for the if you're going to have the FCL
They
and you're going
had
to
to
test
do
it,
something,
you
but
may as well test weird stuff out. Giving
yeah.
just being like this guy's the champion without having to play a match or whatever.
Well, do you remember the situation that was? Which was it's the call up deadline was coming.
Yes.
Roxy calls Nick Harley up before he's supposed to play the title match against, I don't remember who he played against. Kofi Outlaw, I want to say. I could be very wrong about that.
Uh,
Um
Is
and
Kofi
so
Outlaw a wrestler or
no.
oh
No,
no,
no, no.
oh, okay, I'm thinking of someone
And
else.
yeah, and then you're thinking of Kofi Kingston.
Oh, I
Um
am, okay.
yeah, Nick Harley plays the FCL title match, wins the FCL title, and then says there was they'd had this storyline going on FCL where he was going to sign this contract with Brad to do just the one match or whatever.
Yeah.
And then cuz he was now technically a member of the Stars
Yes.
and in the fine print of that he'd put that he was just going to be able to give the title to whoever he wanted to, and he gave it to Flirt and Flouse. The less
Yes.
said about Brett Sheridan's reign in the FCL the better. But Nick Harley was a really good competitor. He was great at character work.
Absolutely.
And then
Like,
Ross Arsenault, he was he was a really good Star Wars competitor. He got perhaps the toughest 5 point question I've ever heard in Star Wars against Nikki DiMolanta in the first round of the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament, and I don't blame him for not knowing it. Like I wouldn't have known like half the questions in that match or any of the questions in that match maybe, but when even the Star Wars competitors were saying that the question Ross got was like super difficult, like you knew it was really difficult.
absolutely. I mean, to stump these guys, the questions had to go so deep
They
in
did.
Star Wars.
Yeah. And so
A
that's basically the rookie class of 2021.
Absolutely. Like, the fact that we've named so many names, that was not normal for the Schmoedown, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I think the draft, it was a very interesting thing where it's like, when you drafted someone, you were Christian. It seems like Christian made it clear. It's like if you drafted someone, they will get matches if they ask for it in a way, which I think is interesting. But like by doing that and having these huge rosters and all these rookies got a chance in their own way. Some of them were able to take huge advantage of it, and some of them were not able to do that as effectively. But to have so many hits out of this amount of competitors that we had Griffey Newman playing in two title matches in Spectacular. We had Joshua Horowitz, we had King Khan, we had all the like even having a Ty Lieberman, a Page for Betty, what's it called? Like even like a couple of Star Wars players where it's like John Hoey, I think would have been okay. Ross, same with Ross. I think he would have been okay if he played another match as well. Marie
Hmm.
Wilson, we didn't even talk about that much. She went 1-1 and looked pretty solid in Star Wars. Like she is someone that could have definitely maybe gone on a run if
Yeah, I
she.
agree.
So like the amount of like players that like would have been the next generation possibly. This runner had so much talent possibly to pick from, and these are also a lot of competitors that did not live in LA because it was all digital. So we had a chance to kind of like this was maybe one of the Schmoedown seasons where you kind of had Schmoedown across the world in a way. like this, or not most a little across the world. We had some international players, but we had across the country in a way that it's never been like that before.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Josh. Um, I think that this rookie class could have carried on to do a lot of really great things, but unfortunately, the Schmoedown didn't continue on.
Yeah,
Which I still miss the Schmoedown every day. It was so much fun to watch when it was going on. But next month we are recording. Now it's probably not going to come out in March. I'll say this now. We probably won't have another episode live for you guys to watch until April. But next month we are recording a very special episode. You want to tell them what it is?
absolutely. We're gonna do a Schmoedown draft. We're gonna draft our own factions in a way. We're gonna take into account we have to draft a certain amount of people from season one to season 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah,
We
it's
have to
not
make
just drafting the faction era players to make a faction. You have to draft throughout the entire history of the Schmoedown.
No, you have to draft an entire history. You need to have a team that's all that has played together once, and you also have to make your own team of singles players you draft. You're going
Hmm.
to have a couple IG players and Star Wars players, and you're going to have to think about the character as well. We're going to have to draft a manager, and like we're going to have to see who can make the most competitive, most fun, the most character driven, and the team that meshes well together. Because like part of what made corruption the dominant force it was is that they all worked well together. They all were able to support each other in a way. Like
Yep.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see where it's like you draft a couple of heels together, and it's like the best player available is a face. How am I going to manage both a face in a mostly heel faction? Am I going to turn that person heel or something like that? I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that we're going to go over in that draft. I'm very excited for it. We got me and 5 other drafters that I think will be a fun time, and Adelia will be our commissioner slash like making sure we don't accidentally
Yeah,
ruin
making sure
the
everyone follows the rules.
absolutely.
So, like I said, we're recording that at the end of next month, and it'll probably come out in April. Not sure if we'll do a live episode in April as well. Life is lifing for me right now, and so but that's why we've delayed this episode so much, and we didn't have one in January. So, things will be getting back to a schedule eventually, but I don't know what that schedule is going to look like for a while. But next month, the Ultimate Schmoedown draft, and also a new name for this show.
Absolutely.
New name, new intro, new everything. So it will be interesting. Do tune in when that goes up on the channel. Follow us on social media at LGRN Post Credits, most everywhere, or postcredits.lgrn.online on Blue Sky. But we will definitely put out on the socials when that episode, the draft episode, is going to go up. Josh, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
You find me here. So supporting this channel is supporting me basically. I come on here, and I'm also on Good Friends Better Rivals, the basketball show, the Step Back. We're gonna do a mid-season episode next in March. I'm very excited for it. We're also going to talk about the tanking problem the NBA has and the possible
Massive
solutions.
problem.
It is a big problem, but I'm excited to talk about it and go into it. So just any way you support this or Good Friend Better Rivals is supporting us. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, please like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Good Friends Better Rivals as well, so you can hear me talk about the Premier League and Josh talk about the NBA and all kinds of other stuff over there. But until next time, everybody, we are out of here. Bye.
It's for real.